Here's my hot take: completing dungeons is not a story. So the roots of tabletop role-playing game had very little to do with telling stories. But nowadays, the idea of telling a cool story or a cool narrative has become something that's really sought after at a lot of tables. So how are people making this happen? Well, there are three major things to consider. Number one, do you have the right game? If you want to tell an engaging story, having the right role-playing game for your story is actually pretty important. You need to identify the types of narratives that your game is wanting to tell, and you can either stick with that, or you need to pick something that is more fitting. So if you want a bad example of this, take the game that I'm actually playing at the minute, which is Dragonbane. It says how the players will start the campaign, it says how they will end the campaign, it gives them some places to go in the middle, but it also needs to have a strong central theme or narrative that goes all the way through, and that is also attached to the character arcs that the main characters will go through. Two, dungeons are not a story. When a party goes down into a dungeon, they kill some things, they loot some chests, that is not a story. There is a reason why the D&D secret level episode didn't show a bunch of people going down into a dungeon and doing that. Now this isn't necessarily D&D's fault. It was always supposed to be a game, but if you're looking for a story or an overall narrative to enjoy in your D&D campaigns, there isn't one there. 3, player buy-in. Now if you really want a narrative or overarching narrative, a story in your role-playing campaigns, then you need to make sure that the players are involved. Obviously, players are playing the main characters in the story, so they need to be aware that they are actually in a story that needs to go a certain way. Not all players are that interested in putting in the extra effort to come up with cool narratives and character arcs that make sense throughout the campaign, but if they plug into the narrative of your campaign and you all agree on what's happening, the game is going to reward you with so many exciting moments, more than just killing stuff and leveling up. Just remember that this should all start in session 0. If you want cool narratives, you all need to agree that that is what you're after. If you have a session 0, which you definitely should do, the DM can let the players know what the premise of the campaign is, what the narrative is, what the themes are, and that can help the players to work out how their characters fit in and make sure that they make characters that do fit in and make sense. You can even use the session 0 to discuss potential arcs, how you see your characters playing out, and even a wish list of what you'd actually like to see in the campaign. So in conclusion, can you make cool stories out of your role-playing campaigns? Yes. Is it more work? Yes. But is it worth it? In my view, yes.